An assistance dog is more than just a dog. He is a companion, a friend, a miracle. He means opportunity and independence. But where does such a miracle come from?
You want to make sure.
Oh my goodness.
Now gently sort of work it out there.
Welcome to the home of Rick Spicer in Cameron Park, California, where a new litter of Canine Companions for Independence puppies is being born. Rick Spicer has been involved with CCI since 2008, as both a puppy raiser, raising and training puppies to 18 months old, and as a breeder caretaker. The role of a CCI breeder caretaker is to care for the breeder before, during, and after her pregnancy, as well as to care for the puppies for 8 weeks until they turn into CCI headquarters.
The whelping process is pretty straightforward. They are live birth mammals, so you have a puppy that comes out in an amniotic sac. You have an umbilical cord. You have a placenta attached to the umbilical cord. So basically our job as whelper helpers, I mean, it's a pretty natural process, just like a human childbirth, but we're there to help facilitate it and make it a little bit easier. We deliver the puppy along with the amniotic sac. Our first job is to get the amniotic sac off the puppy and get the fluid away from the puppy. We separate the placenta from the puppy and then go ahead and rub the puppy vigorously in a head down position so that we get the fluid out of the lungs and we can get the puppy breathing. Weigh the puppy, dry them off, record all the things we need to about gender, color, any issues with birth during the birthing process, any abnormalities we might note at the time of the birth. And then we put the puppy on mom and try to get him to get the puppy to start eating, and that usually takes a couple of minutes, but works out pretty well overall. It's a natural process. Carrie called me about 8:05 Monday morning.
For the first week following the puppy's birth, they are eating and sleeping more than anything else. Their mom stays in the pen with them almost constantly, carefully watching over them to make sure each puppy is safe and sound.
Amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Their senses will come in, their smell will come in first at about 3 to 5 days. Their hearing will come in at 4 to 7 days, and their eyes start opening at about day 10. And by day 16, their eyes will be completely open. And that becomes a whole new world for them because now they can see their siblings, they can see the world around them, they can really become interactive with everything that's going on in their puppy play area and their pen. So that's a significant point.
In addition to watching over the puppies themselves, Rick Spicer and his wife Irina must record detailed measurements of weight and growth to ensure the puppies are developing correctly.
The next significant point really comes probably around week 3 when their personalities really start to develop. And that's fun to watch as a breeder caretaker.
At this point, the puppies will still be sleeping or eating most of the day. However, this changes drastically between weeks 3 and 4. Beginning at week 4, the puppies become much more active and playful. They spend more time awake than asleep and interact with each other more and more. Then, they start venturing out beyond their siblings, exploring and outgrowing the small pen that they were born in. Weeks 4 and 5 mark many key changes for the puppies. They get to leave the pen to play outside for the first time and experience all the new sounds, smells, and surfaces that come with their new surroundings. Sounds and surfaces are two major components of training a service dog, and that training begins as soon as the dogs are born.
In order to get these guys used to various sounds and surfaces, because they're going to have to be working on grates, they're going to have to be working on grass, gravel, every conceivable type of material under their feet, we try to give them as much of those different types of things to walk on and to get used to as we can. We use paint roller grids for them to walk across, and in our mind, the greatest event for that type of thing is when the puppy can actually sit or stand on that paint grid and toilet. And if they can do that, they're very comfortable on that surface. Sounds, we happen to be in an ideal location where this house is. We have airplanes, sirens, we have heavy trucks, we have cars, we have motorcycles going by all the time. So, but on top of that, CCI provides all the breeder caretakers with a CD of various sound effects, and we play that CD just about every day for the last 3 or 4 weeks that the puppies are with us. So they get used to all sorts of different sounds, jackhammers, babies crying, things of that nature. And that's so that when they get out in the real world, they won't have a fast negative reaction.
The next significant change at 5 weeks is the transition from eating milk to wet food called gruel to dry food, although some prefer to nap on the kibble rather than eat it. Finally, the last change at 5 weeks are names and placements.
The naming process for the puppies is very simple. Each litter that's born is given an alpha character in the order in which they're born. For example, this was the B litter, B as in boy. The litter before this was the A litter. The litter that was born right after this litter is the C litter. And each name will begin with that letter. None of our service dogs in service at the time can have the same name. Obviously, that could get very confusing. So as a result, we have to make sure that the names are not already in use or are about to be retired. The service life is about 9 to 10 years. Some of the donors, we have people who will pay $10,000 for the privilege of naming a dog, naming a puppy. So some of these names are donor names. The breeder caretakers can always suggest names, and we always get our friends to suggest names as well.
Socialization is another key factor in the development and behavior of CCI puppies. They're going to constantly be around and working with many different types of people, so it is important that they become comfortable with people as early as possible. Finally, after 7 to 8 weeks, the puppies leave their breeder caretaker and their mom to be turned in. Being turned in means that the puppies leave their homes and stay at the CCI National Headquarters in Santa Rosa, California, where they are bathed, microchipped, tattooed with a 5-digit ID number, and shipped out to their puppy raisers across the nation. From the moment the puppies meet their puppy raisers until they return to Santa Rosa after 18 months, the puppies will learn nearly 30 basic commands and learn how to behave in public settings, like restaurants, stores, and even movie theaters. Then, they go back to CCI headquarters to receive professional training for 6 to 9 months to learn specific skills for a service dog, skilled companion, facility dog, or hearing dog, the 4 types of assistance dogs that CCI trains. Finally, once the dogs complete their training, they are matched up with the person in need and train with them until they graduate together as a team.
We had our 4th dog, Tiara, who graduated as a skilled companion, with a young lady, a girl over in the Bay Area who was autistic, and it was just an amazing process to be part of. To see the look on that girl's face when she saw her dog, and luckily we've stayed friends with them. We've stayed very close with them over the last 4 or 5 years, and to see the difference that Tiara has made in that family's life is just incredible.